Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you might be joining from. I am HR Funk, and this is HR's Firing Line. This is the only online, can't say it, online firearm show that is completely driven by you, your questions, and your comments. And joining me this evening is the crowd favorite Mimi, my special guest star, back by popular demand. So I know I should just leave right now so all of you can talk to her. But maybe I'll stick around. I'll just sit off to the side here and I won't say much. But actually, as it turns out, we've had quite a bit going on here in the last few minutes. We were eating supper just before we came in for the live stream, and Rabbi sent us a message about the situation at the Trump rally, and we turned on the news right away and started to watch the coverage. And I've got to say, I'm I guess speechless that such a thing is going to happen in this country at this time. Obviously, violence of any sort cannot be tolerated anywhere for any reason whatsoever. And this situation is just terrible. And per Rabbi's request, I asked Mimi if she would be willing to say a prayer for our nation and our former president. She is an ordained deacon in the Episcopal Church, and she was gracious enough to say that she would do that. So I'm just going to turn things over to her for a moment for a quick prayer. And regardless of your denomination or your beliefs, if you would just pray with us for our country and the security of our former president.
All right, so let us pray. Heavenly Father, we are in troubling times. We've been in troubling times before, and your presence has been a healing and calming presence. Now, on this day, as life turns a little upside down, we ask for your wisdom and your guidance and your peace. We pray for healing for President Trump. We pray for peace for his wife and children. We pray that the people of this country will see this as an opportunity to set aside division and recognize each other's humanness so that we can see everyone as a child of God, that we can join together to combat division and violence. We ask these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
I'm just tracking the news, so I'm paying attention though, y'all.
All right. And with that, we have 28 people, according to the ticker, that are in here already. And I'm going to back up just a little bit and see who we have. Terry Barnes is here. Scott Person, Rabbi, of course. Albert Michael. Jeff Tim, thanks for joining, Jeff. Hope everything's going well down there in Florida. And Roy Kiefer is here. Thanks for joining, Roy. Floridian is here. Cam Gaylor is here. KD Cowboy. Taticus Legion 78. Russ Michael CK. And Snake Doctor 99 GT. Thanks to all of you for joining. Anyone who hasn't chimed in, please let us know you're here so we can recognize you as joining as part of the group as well. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to your questions and your comments, and we'll try to respond to those as best we can. Rabbi has got something down here, and let's bring this up on the screen. Been watching for health updates, no info. He'll need an MRI before we know much of anything. The only thing that I could see in the news coverage was it appeared that he was bleeding around the area of his right ear. So he was moving. The Secret Service whisked him off the stage. The information that we're getting is that he is okay. I hope that's the case.
The Secret Service is saying he's safe. So he's at the hospital. He issued a statement probably on Truth Social or Twitter saying that he's okay and thanks to the first responders. And of course, he stood up and shook his fist and repeated the word fight multiple times. That's what it looked like he was saying. So
And CK is here from North Carolina. Thank you for joining. Russ Michael says he released a message saying he is okay. Did that come from the former president himself?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
okay, good. That's good to know. How about the folks behind him? Haven't heard anything about that, KD Cowboy. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone was hit. I hope not. I hope no one was injured. This is it is just so reprehensible as a firearms aficionado and someone who is talking to a lot of other firearms aficionados out there. The idea of someone using a firearm to perpetrate some sort of criminal violence is it's beyond reprehensible. It is just almost unthinkable. And hopefully whoever is responsible for this will be quickly apprehended and will be prosecuted for this act that they have perpetrated. Terry Barnes is here from Kentucky, and I'm trying to keep up with your comments here. I think it was a shot with a pistol based on the sound. I did not hear the sound. In the coverage we were watching, the reporters were talking and they were showing the video, so I didn't hear any sound at all. Russ Michael, I have no idea if the shooter has been caught. I hope so, but I don't know.
The Secret Service issued a statement that says an incident occurred the evening of July 13th at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures and the former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation and further information will be released when available.
Clinton Lane, to answer your question, former President Donald Trump had a rally this evening. And during the rally, I don't know everything that happened, but shots were fired. The former president appeared to have an injury to the area of his right ear. When they showed it on the news coverage, he was bleeding there. The Secret Service is saying he is safe. And apparently the former president himself has sent out some sort of a communication saying he is okay. But that's about as much as we know for now. Rich Powers, good evening to you. J78 is saying thank you to you for the prayer. It was very kind. Rabbi says the shooter is down according to the Secret Service. So that's news that I don't have.
I'm watching for updates. I'm sure Rabbi is too.
Tony York, good evening to you. Day at the Range says that he believes the ear injury was from being tackled to the ground. And I have no idea whatsoever. I just saw that it appeared to be that he was bleeding.
I do not believe that is true because he was turned. He put his hand up to his ear and then someone yelled, get down, Mr. President, or Mr. President, get down, something like that. And he dropped down. So I do not think it's from that. I think he was shot. I think a bullet grazed his ear or something grazed his ear.
Rabbi, I agree. It is sickening. This is just a horrible day for our nation. And it doesn't even matter that it's the former president. It does.
Well, I know what you're going to say.
It does. But I mean, this could be President Biden. It could be former President Obama. I mean, we just absolutely cannot have this type of thing happening in our country. It is a horrible, horrible testament to the current state of our nation. Rabbi says he grabbed that ear before going down. Yeah. CK, I agree. Things are getting out of hand. Everybody needs to just calm down a little bit. Luke B says, I wish I could say I'm surprised. I think I am surprised. I did not expect this. I expected all sorts of vitriolic speech going back and forth and everything like that. I did not expect actual physical violence, particularly with a firearm. J78, I agree. This is absolutely disgraceful.
Oh, he's not going to hide behind anything.
I don't see Donald Trump hiding behind anything. We'll see what happens, but I would not expect that. The MMA hater, hold on just a second till I bring this up here. I'd be just as horrified if it was any president. I agree. This is absolutely serious. Doesn't matter what your political leanings are or what affiliations you have or anything else. We absolutely cannot condone any sort of physical violence. And my computer is not cooperating right now.
There is a video I'm watching now of law enforcement have somebody in their physical custody, and they're carrying him out by all fours at this point.
Good.
And somebody is saying it is the shooter.
Don't they set up that ballistic glass? I don't know. I have no idea what the security protocols might be for the former president. Roy Kiefer says, we could not be more correct. This is America. We have to deal with each other lawfully. And it really saves. I think that must be a autocorrect there or something, Roy, because I don't think that's correctly stated there. But I agree that we absolutely cannot have this here. Tony York says, in my local circles, the possibility of Trump being taken out was talked about for a lot of the past 3 months due to him looking so unbeatable. Yeah, that's just
someone said that Biden made a comment in the last couple of days that we should put a target on Trump's back, or we should put a target on Trump. So perhaps someone did.
Yeah, not a wise choice of words from Sleepy Joe. SC Patriot, the left will probably blame the firearm. Probably. The firearm acted all by itself.
There will be people on the left who will say things like, good, look, see, he's pissed off people, and now somebody tried to take him out. And this is what happens when you act like him. That's what some of them will say.
Guile Jackson, hello to you. Thanks for joining. Chris Long says, sound like an air rifle of some sort. Again, I have not heard any audio from what took place, so I have no idea what it sounds like. Portable, it's insanity when these deranged liberals think violence is the solution. I would go so far as to say it's deranged when anyone thinks violence is the solution. I would not restrict that to liberals, although I suspect whoever is responsible for this evening is not a conservative Republican. Russ Michael, everyone I know has been predicting this for months. KD Cowboy, if Trump is elected, how will we ever get anything done? We are in perpetual election cycle that never ends. Maybe not. I mean, if he is elected, which it's looking like he will be at this point, but if he's elected and he selects a vice president that is someone who can potentially be elected president afterwards, who knows? I mean, we might actually see a period of stability for the next 12 years.
Well, and the other thing is, if Trump wins, typically what happens is the Republicans down the ballot, someone goes in and checks Trump and checks everyone else who's a Republican down the ballots, which is why many of the Democrats who are running for re-election this fall and their representatives who have to run every 2 years, that's part of the reason why they want Biden to step down, is because they're afraid that Biden's going to lose so badly and that's going to cause them to lose so badly. So I don't think I don't think there's necessarily going to be gridlock.
Guile Jackson says, I'm surprised there was a live stream today. Actually, I was looking forward to this. Coming up this week, I'm going to be going to training on Wednesday and Thursday. I think I'm going to have a Wednesday video for all of you to watch. I'm not going to be there for it. Next Saturday, I'm not sure what they're going to be. There might not be a video next Saturday. But in any case, I wanted to do the live stream tonight. Mimi agreed to come with me as my guest star. We had no idea, obviously, that we were going to be talking about the type of situation that we are or anything that this is this serious. But in any case, I'm glad you're able to join, and I'm glad your shifts are over. So welcome aboard. Oops, hold on here. Something happened. During the JFK... I don't know why that keeps going away. During the JFK assassination, it was a Secret Service that shot JFK. When I was in Dallas a few weeks ago, actually, it's probably been more like a month and a half ago, I actually went by Dealey Plaza, and it was quite interesting to look that over and look at the angles for the shots and everything else. If you ever have a chance, if you're ever in Dallas, I encourage you to go by there because it's like the place is frozen in time. It still basically looks like it did in all of the documentaries and movies and TV shows and everything you've ever seen. So it's very interesting to go and see that place.
In other news, Richard Simmons was found dead today in his home, and Dr. Ruth died today.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. Richard Simmons was 76.
That's actually surprising. That I would have thought he would have lived far longer, but I guess all the exercise and weight loss and everything.
Well, I mean, you can't beat genetics.
No, that's true. Terry Barnes, CBS News, says shooter is down and there's no threat. Good. Frederick von Cold sounded like a small caliber. Could be wrong. Yeah, I have not heard any audio as of yet. Terry Barnes, Trump is medical facility getting treatment. That's kind of what I gathered. Zach D, there's people all over Reddit calling it staged. Of course. Yeah. Yes, this is what would be staged, of course. Russ Michael, I've learned not to put anything past these people, which is unfortunate. Roy Kiefer, I'm going to bring this up because Roy's talking to you. Entirely correct, Mimi. In my humble opinion, this is the great insiders debate at the Dem convention.
Yeah. And it does not escape my notice that they are the Dems that are coming out calling on him to step down are not big name Dems. You know, you hear Pelosi saying, like, playing the politician, well, it is a concern. And Schumer says things like that too. But it's none of the big name people that are calling for him to step down. It's people I've never heard of before.
By the way, I just started the crawl on the bottom. If anyone would like to join as a guest this evening on the show, all you have to do is send me an email at hrfunk@zoominternet.net. I will send you a link to the live stream here and you can join. If you activate your camera, just keep in mind everyone will be able to see you. So if you're lounging in your underwear or what have you, you might want to join by voice only. But definitely send me an email. And in fact, let me do something quick here. All I'm going to do is open my email so that if anyone wants to be a guest, I will actually get something saying that you want to join. All right, and back to the comments here.
Henry Schmidt said Biden's asleep already. At least sundowning. Well, yeah, it's almost 8 o'clock. So he may be.
Robert Montalvo says, trust me, watch the shooting video again. Pay attention to the Secret Service driver who is driving the limousine. I learned from William Cooper Bill. Okay. Well, I'll have to take a look at that video again sometime. Dr. Ruth was an Israeli sniper. Somehow I don't see that. And I'm just going down through the comments here quickly, looking to see if there's anything to respond to. Henry Schmidt, I didn't know this. Richard Simmons suffered from a knee replacement surgery so bad that he refused to get his other knee done. I did not know that. Rabbi, thank you for the donation. Rabbi just donated essentially a $10 donation, $9.99, through the super chat feature, or super thanks feature. So thank you very much, Rabbi. I appreciate that greatly.
He also asked me if you've been bringing me matchas. Have you been bringing me matchas?
I've been bringing you matchas like you wouldn't believe.
You not bringing me no matchas. But you do bring me anything else I ask for. I don't ask for matchas, so.
Rabbi, I got to tell you, I don't know what a matcha is. Whatever it is, I've been bringing it to her. Eric Sandstrom, I think this is going to benefit Trump more than Biden. I would say probably.
The photo of him, like this, surrounded by Secret Service, and there happens to be an American flag behind him, and there's something else. It's already an iconic photo. It's kind of like the Iwo Jima photo.
Jeff Tim, let me get this new one up here. Did you note the use of a blade of organic armor? Like when I realized members of the counterterrorism team were 6 foot tall and 200 pounds. I did not notice that. I'll have to watch for it the next time I see it. Rabbi busted. Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, it should seal the deal for President Trump. Hugely. No, it's bigly. He said the president used to say bigly.
Big Shug, howdy to you. Thanks for joining. Henry Schmidt, iconic photo, but the liberal media took the pic. They'll abuse it. They'll probably delete it.
Oh, it's all over the internet right now. They're not going to be able to delete it.
Yeah, and this is a heck of a thing. I thought we were going to come on here this evening and have a fun, lighthearted conversation. And no, we're talking about a very serious topic here. So thanks to everyone who's joined. By the way, we have 37 people in here, according to the official tally over here. If I can trust anything that comes from YouTube, which I usually can't. It says now 41, which probably means there are like 216 people, but it says 41. Eric Sandstrom, any reports of anyone else hit? How many shots were fired? I don't know. I have not heard any reports of anyone else hit or no other injuries. I have no idea how many shots were fired. So we're just going to have to wait until this sort of plays itself out a little bit to find out exactly what all went on. Terry Barnes, there's no longer a threat. 2 law enforcement sources told CBS News the suspect is believed to be either dead or in custody, but details are unclear. Secret Service agents did engage the suspect. So, okay, didn't know any of that, and obviously we're going to have to wait for some sort of confirmation. Russ Michael, I hate seeing this no matter what side they're on. So do I. It's just extremely... I don't even know what the word is. It's almost unthinkable that somebody would try to shoot a president, a former president, or what have you in this day and age. It's just horrible. Looks like someone behind got hit by the... hold on a second. Looks like someone got hit behind Trump. So I did not know that. That's unfortunate. I hope that person is doing well. So again, prayers going out to anyone who might have been injured in this incident this evening. So Roy Kiefer, perhaps the fundamental issue isn't either a likely candidate, but instead our nation's divisiveness and incivility. I think you're right, Roy. Like I said, it's just almost unthinkable that this could happen in this day and age in our country. Just a terrible, terrible comment on the current condition here in the USA. Henry Schmidt, never get notice of any of your live streams. I apologize for that. I have no control over it. I mentioned it in the live chat this morning during the video premiere. I also put up a very short video this afternoon and attached it to a community post. So I was hoping that would go out to a lot of you. But again, I'm at YouTube's mercy when it comes to that. Liam A, Secret Service called the shooter down around 9:04 mark in the live stream video. Okay. So that's I guess good to know, but we were in here, so obviously we didn't know it. Russ Michael, Butler County confirms the shooter is dead. All right. Well, at least he's not going to be harming anyone else. As the information comes out about this individual, I think we're probably going to hear some things that we all pretty much expect at this point, but I'm not going to speculate too much. We'll just have to wait and see what is revealed in the next 24 to 48 hours, I suppose. Did he have blue hair and a Starbucks named? That's kind of what I was getting at, Rabbi.
And a Starbucks name tag. I have red, white, and blue here. You can't really see it. It's on the back.
Yes, Mimi had that for 4th of July. Red, white, and blue.
I always color the very bottom at the back of my hair. So quit knocking blue hair. I'm making it cool again.
And my hair is just as brown as it ever was.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
It's been brown for 58 years now.
Yeah. Parts of it, undeniably.
Big Shug, in other news, we were talking about that. Richard Simmons passed away today. So, unfortunate, truthfully. I told Mimi, I'm kind of surprised as much into fitness and everything as he was for his entire life. You would have thought he would live longer, but
he was 76.
Well, still.
I know.
I don't know. You thought Richard Simmons would live to like 106 or something like that.
You can never beat genetics.
Tony York, let me bring this up here. There's a woman with longer blonde hair behind Trump in the video that just drops as Trump grabs his ear. She doesn't raise back. Oh, I hate to hear that. I hope she is okay. So prayers to her and her family.
Now I'm going to look for that video.
Rabbi, I watched the live stream. Couldn't believe it. Absolutely stunned. I admired Trump's reaction. He was pissed. Yeah, which is what you would expect from Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to hide. He's going to be angry. It may well be interesting to see what he has to say in the upcoming days. Nobody, this was totally fake. I'm not getting that sense. Not from all of the coverage we're seeing.
Who said that? Oh, this was totally fake.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody, unless you can put a name up there, I'm not really going to listen to you.
Poor DeRuth, probably all excited. What?
Dr. Ruth.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, Lord. Rabbi, you ain't right.
Roy Kiefer, AP is reporting the assassin and the other individual are dead. Oh, man, that's horrible. I hate to hear that someone else was killed. I mean, I hate to hear anyone was killed, but particularly some innocent person was just there as part of the rally. Kyle Jackson, what? Richard Simmons died? Yeah, apparently Richard Simmons has passed away, which is like I said, kind of hard to believe. He seemed
Yep.
like one of those people that was just always going to be there.
He was found by his housekeeper in his home.
Fecal warning, Chief. Which would you prefer, a Colt Gold Cup or a Beretta M9A4? Got to go with the Gold Cup on that one. I've always kind of wanted a Colt Gold Cup. Never had one. Never even shot one. So I've got an M9A3. I would definitely opt for the Colt Gold Cup. Liam A. I don't think anyone behind him got hit. Seemed like the shooter was to his right, which would explain why it hit his ear. Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of people went down because they heard a shot, and they heard someone tell him get down. So everyone behind him got down, and no, I don't think anyone got back up for a while. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's fine. Big Shug, yeah, it was amazing. Let me bring this up here. Amazing to see him immediately just enraged. We don't get any reaction when Biden tips over. Yeah, I'm afraid Joe might not even realize he tipped over something. Liam A. live stream with audio clear on the Donald Trump YouTube page. So we'll have to check that later. It's not going to be something we can take a look at right now. Rose Michael grew his hair long in the back to do a comb over. So, wow, I think we are caught up on the comments, which doesn't happen all that often once the live stream kicks off.
All right. Anybody wants to ask me anything, ask me anything. Let's keep it clean. My husband's sitting right next to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, be careful with the ask me anything, because Rabbi is in the crowd there.
I think I can handle myself.
Have you met Rabbi?
No.
Mr. Furley, do you have an opinion on Hollow Sun optics? Yeah, I think they're good optics. I've got 2 or 3 of them at this point. They work very well. The only thing I noticed, and I mentioned this recently when I was talking to someone else, it seems like a lot of the lower price optics have really come up in quality over the last year or so. When we see something from Siley Optics or some of the other really low, what I would call budget price or entry level optics, we're just seeing some really good performance these days. And for the price difference, I'm not sure we're getting much more from a Hollow Sun or even some of the more expensive ones, the Aim Points or the Trigicons or anything like that these days.
Okay, KD Cowboy wants to know about the shirt I'm wearing. I'm a VW fan too. I've had 2 VW Beetles in my lifetime. And I had a friend when I was in high school. I am a little bit of a hippie. I had a friend in high school who had a VW van, and what's that say on it at the bottom?
Harriet and Oak, Rapid City, South Dakota.
So that would have been a coffee shop I went to in Rapid City. I like to collect T-shirts from the coffee shops I go to. So, and I like VW vans, so that's why I have.
And she's a hippie.
I'm a little bit of a hippie. I'm not liberal.
Let's see. Henry Schmidt, buy your ARs now.
Well, Biden has said in his next 4 years he's going to reinstitute the ban. So
Mark Becker is asking if your husband is a neat freak.
It depends. His reloading area is organized by powder, all neatly arranged on the shelf.
By burn rate.
And by burn rate. And this room tends to be very neat. And you do clean up all the kitchen after we eat all the time. And load the dishwasher and unload the dishwasher and fold your clothes and put them away right away. So I guess the answer is yes.
My Jeep is neat too.
Your Jeep is not that neat.
My Jeep is very neat.
You got shit in the back seat that's not, but it's fine.
Extremely neat.
It's not.
Guile Jackson, my companions are listening to your show. They like the way you two speak. Thank you. Alex G, HR, do you think the SBR law will get dropped? I hope so.
What's that?
I don't know. Short barrel rifle.
Oh.
Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, with all this nonsense that's been tied up and wrapped around the pistol brace and the SBR and everything else. It would be nice if all that was just done away with, but who knows what we'll end up with eventually. Dan the Wolfman is here. How you doing, Dan? Thanks for joining. Leah May, I have my Siley Wolf Zero has been performing quite well on my echelon. And I have got a Siley Wolf Zero as well. That was
Eric Sandstrom.
Oops.
Liam had another comment.
I'm sorry, Eric. But my Siley is going to be going with me to that training this week. It's going to be a 2-day intensive course taught by a former Special Forces soldier, U.S. Army Special Forces soldier. So I'm looking forward to trying a lot of different items of equipment that I have and firearms and one thing and another to be able to report back to all of you how they all perform. But the Siley optics are one of the things I'm going to be testing. Fecal warning, Mrs. Funk, do you watch professional football? My wife and I are KC Chiefs fans.
Okay, I'm going to be very gentle when I say my name is Mrs. Moore.
It's Mrs. Funk.
And
Mrs. Howard R. Funk.
Oh my God. And I have been watching professional football since I was 10, which means 50 years. And yes, I love it. And I can usually tell you some of the players, like where they went to school, what some of their records were when they were in college, and all kinds of fun stuff like that. I haven't watched college football as much because, I don't know, I got married and had a kid. But and I'm more of a football fan than Howard is.
Yes, that's true. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. I do not consider myself a football fan. I just watch the Browns every year. I live and die every year with the Cleveland Browns. By the way, you need to practice signing your name, Mrs. Howard R. Funk.
Yeah, get right on that. I like the Kansas City Chiefs because I like some of the players. I find that I like individual players, so I like to watch those teams play. I'm a Browns fan because I live in Northeast Ohio, and I'm originally from South Carolina in an era where the closest football team we had was the Atlanta Falcons, and they sucked the whole time I was growing up. So, and back in the day, you could only watch certain teams. So I watched the Steelers and the 49ers and Green Bay and the Cowboys and primarily what? Trophy husband. Whoever was on TV, because one or two games you were on TV and that's about it. And then Monday Night Football, whoever was on that. And the Browns were almost never on that.
They should have been.
Oh, not back then.
Actually, in the 80s, the Browns had some good teams.
They did.
Until they lost in the last game before the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Twice. Floridian thinks I need a trim. Yeah, I probably do. Starting to get a little long on the sides here, so I have to get that trimmed back.
A little bit.
Zam New World, yes, we've been discussing that quite a bit, so we are aware of that. Dan the Wolfman only watched a few minutes of three-way revolver battle so far. Comments keep getting deleted. Yeah, there have been a lot of I've tried to respond to some people that commented on that video, and my comments are getting deleted. So that's just YouTube currently. But thanks for watching, Dan. Katie Cowboy, care to comment on Brian Malinowski case? They were executing a search warrant, not an arrest warrant. Not really. I have not really kept up to speed on all of that, so I don't really have any kind of an intelligent comment that I can make. Katie Cowboy, where should I move in South Carolina?
Well, we're going to Columbia. You can move anywhere you want to. Sooner or later, like not tomorrow. SC Patriot said the upstate of South Carolina. The upstate is closer to the mountains, and it's a little cool there. So if we don't move to Columbia, then we're going to move closer to the beach.
Jack Lowe, that's what we've been hearing so far is the individual that fired the shot is no longer with us.
I'm trying to confirm that through news reports.
Rabbi, I got to go. My wife is pretty upset about the shooting. See, thanks for joining, Rabbi, and thanks for making me aware of that before we ever came in here tonight, because I would have not known anything about it were it not for the message you sent me. So thanks again.
And tell your wife that I'm sorry to hear she's upset. I mean, it's upsetting. I was very upset when I heard about it. So.
Jeff Timms, we Browns fans die a little every playoff. Say, yep, absolutely. Tony York, I have been in Columbia in July. I hope you stayed in the air conditioning.
Yes, only mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the heat in August. That's a saying that we have. So
When I was in boot camp, we went out in the heat, and
I know. When were you at boot camp?
from April through July of 1985.
Yeah, that wasn't August heat.
No, that wasn't August heat.
I mean, it was hot, but that wasn't August heat. I don't consider it hot till it's 95 degrees or higher.
Henry Schmidt is a victim of 2 hurricane direct hits. Don't move to coastal South Carolina.
Yeah, you definitely have to have an exit plan.
Roy Kiefer is throwing out a vote for Greenville.
Oh, yeah.
Katie Cowboy. Ernest Miner has finally stopped letting the fumble define him. Yeah, he might have. I'm not sure that anybody else has.
I remember watching that play going, no, he didn't. There were probably some expletives that I utilized as well.
Were you watching that game?
Well, it was at the AFC Championship game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would have been watching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
SC Patriot, the upset of South Carolina. Wait, what? What? The upset of South Carolina is more conservative. You kind of lost me on that one. Can you translate that?
No.
All right.
Robert Montalvo says the alleged shooter always gets killed. They're reporting that the shooter was killed. Yes, I'm reading a report now that there's the alleged shooter is dead and that there's another person dead, and that's all I'm hearing right now.
I like guns says, hold on a second.
Trump shot at rally.
Yes. Yep. We've been talking about that since the live stream started. This is the one I meant to click on. My youngest daughter's basic graduation was in Columbia, so I'm assuming that was Fort Jackson or at Fort Jackson.
Yeah, so one thing, Columbia, South Carolina is spelled Columbia, and I grew up a mile outside the main gate of Fort Jackson, so we used to hear the artillery practices, like you'd hear the boom, boom, boom stuff, and then sometimes you'd hear rifle reports, but saw convoys coming out of Fort Jackson all the time.
And here is someone that is from, but I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
McLennanville.
Oh, yeah, that was my first guess.
I think that's upstate. Jeff Tim said he was at U.S. Army Basic in 1972, Fort Polk, Louisiana, May through August. Yeah, that was some hot down there.
I don't know. Parris Island has been known to be the hottest place in the country on more than one occasion.
Well, y'all are wearing like uniforms. Like the rest of us are wearing shorts and t-shirts, and y'all are wearing big, heavy stuff to run around in the sun. So it feels a lot hotter. So I get that.
We actually visited Parris Island about 20 years ago.
No, because Samantha was little. So
yeah, she was in a stroller.
Yeah, we did the freaking death march.
We did not
from
do the death
parking
march.
lot to like a mile to see the building that was his barracks, and then we had to walk back to the car, and it was blazing heat, and the asphalt was hot, and Samantha
50 feet.
Oh my god. That was the most ridiculous thing I didn't mind visiting Parris Island. That was cool, and we got some cool stuff at the store, but that death march was ridiculous.
It was not a death march. I've been on death marches at Parris Island, and that was not one.
Well, it was one. Because I was not in the Marines. Transplanted hillbilly is the one who said McClellanville. That's awesome.
Jeff Tim from the NBC 1 to 10 is that is just horrible. That somebody that was just there as part of the rally was killed. I again, thoughts and prayers to that person's family. That is just unimaginable.
No, it's And I guarantee you, Trump is going to mention her by name and will offer to pay for her funeral and will offer, all kinds of condolences to the family because that's just the kind of guy he is. So, Katie Cowboy says his wife will like South Carolina. It's hot in the Philippines too. Yeah, that's what I hear. So,
yeah, his wife is from the Philippines.
no, I'm saying it's hot in the Philippines. I hear it's hot there.
And Transplanted Hillbilly says McClellanville is 30 miles north of Charleston.
McClellanville. Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, McClellan. So it's like Fort McClellan, back when it was still called Fort McClellan.
Well, I don't think that's Fort McClellan.
No, but I mean it's pronounced the same way. I didn't know how to pronounce it. Mr. Furley, if you're going to take a revolver defense course, what revolver would you use? I'm stuck between the 686P and the 66. If I was going to take a revolver defense course, and I'm assuming it's for armed citizen carry, not uniform police or security or whatever, I would take my 3-inch Model 19 carry comp. That would be the one that I would take. But again, if it was going to be something more like a open carry, armed security, or what have you, then I would probably opt for my 686. So we are up to 46 minutes here, everyone. I'm probably going to run the stream for an even hour. So we got not quite 15 minutes left. If anybody has any last minute questions, comments, things that you want to throw out, we are covering some fairly heavy topics this evening, but if you have any lighter questions or obviously comments about firearms or questions or what have you, feel free to throw those out. Or if you want to ask Mimi about her hippie Volkswagen bug shirt, then
you could ask me how much I can deadlift. That'd be cool. I think it's right now. I think I'm at 185 as my PR. My lifetime PR is 215, but the last 6 months I haven't been to the gym as regularly, so. I have a wide-ranging set of life experiences.
I have a very narrow range of life experiences.
You have narrow point of view?
Yes.
Floridian said family originally from Society Hill, South Carolina. Never heard of that. Where is it?
Katie Cowboy, yes, I saw the announcement for the new Smith & Wesson 2.0 carry comps. Shockingly, I was not contacted by Smith & Wesson and asked to review one of them and have a video ready to go by the time they launched it. So I don't know anything about them other than what any of you might have seen in the emails or the promotion material that's come out so far. Guile Jackson, my companions know me as the gun nut.
As a gun nut.
Luke B, it took me several months of saving on the side, but I picked up a barely used FN M4A1. Good for you.
What is that?
It's a rifle.
Oh. Okay. Well, good.
And let me check something here. All right. I was just checking to make sure that no one had sent me a message to join the video, and no one has.
KD Cowboy wants to know what's your favorite movie? I'm assuming he's asking me that. If I had to name a favorite movie, I would say Hunt for Red October.
If I had to name,
nobody asked you.
I'm going to give one anyway.
But you have to ask me why I like Hunt for Red October.
Why do you like Hunt for Red October?
There's a lot of men in that movie, and I love men. There's a lot of testosterone going on, and Sean Connery's in it.
That's what I knew was coming. If I had to pick a favorite movie, which is very hard, by the way, because I like so many movies. If I had to pick a favorite, I think it would be Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart. Great movie, extremely entertaining. And who doesn't like Bogey? Great, great movie. Dan the Wolfman, let's podcast soon again. Absolutely. We'll try that again one of these days soon, hopefully.
Thanks for joining us, Dan the Wolfman.
Big Shug, did you see the Diamondback revolver? It was pretty interesting. Supposed to be the lightest 357 mag, yada, yada, yada. I've seen one. I haven't handled it. The price tag usually scares me before I ever get too close to the thing, so I don't know if I'll be trying one anytime very soon. Floridian says Darlington County on the PD River.
First Society, the town that he named. What was it? Society Hill. Okay. I know where generally that is. And then Tony York, KB9RAO, says Ingrid Bergman was incredibly hot, and yes, she was.
Yes, she was.
And black and white just does something for a woman's face. So
it does something for a movie. It gives it that.
I know, but he was talking about Ingrid Bergman, so does something for a woman's face.
Yeah, but I'm talking about movies.
Jeff Tim said, "What favorite movie was not the Sands of Iwo Jima? You sure you weren't a Hollywood Marine?" Well, now you've done it.
I do have Sands of Iwo Jima.
Jeff, you may get banned now
on our Apple TV.
Hollywood Marine.
The one that I don't get to watch very often that they used to actually play when I was in boot camp on Sundays. We had a period of free time, quote unquote, from like, I don't remember what it was.
Doesn't matter.
9 in the morning to 11 in the morning or whatever. Now the free time was free to shine our boots, shine our brass, do those kind of, maybe write a letter home or something like that. But they would wheel out a TV into the squad room and they would play the movie The DI with Jack Webb, which is actually a pretty cool movie. If you ever get a chance to watch it, it's a lot of fun from back in the, I'm going to say probably 1950 or thereabouts that movie was made.
KD Cowboy says, did black and white help the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz? I mean, she was scary, though.
But that was in color. She was in color.
Was it ever in black and white?
The first part of the movie, when it starts out, is in black and white.
Oh, so she's the neighbor that's complaining about the dog.
Right,
yeah.
and she's riding the bicycle and all that. And then when Dorothy gets to Oz, it changes over and it's like this beautiful Technicolor experience.
Yeah. So it did something for her, just sort of accentuated her features, but
Made
did not make her more beautiful. Floridian asks, Chief, I'm looking at the Smith & Wesson Model 27 after your recent video. Great review.
Thank you. It's a fantastic revolver for a new production revolver that is trying to replicate one of the firearms from the days of yore. I really like it. The action is still a little on the heavy, somewhat rough side because it's just not been cycled that much, but I really like it. I like the finish. It looks great. It's fun to shoot. So if you come across one, I would wholeheartedly recommend you give it a try. Roy Kiefer would love to see a Ruger KGP 141 assessed in the morning revolver evaluation. I need to get some Ruger revolvers to review. I historically have leaned towards Smith & Wesson revolvers, but I don't have an issue with Rugers. So if I can get a hold of some, I will try to get them in for a review. Leon C., Semper Fi to you. Roy Kiefer, DI is a great movie. Actually prefer it to Full Metal Jacket. Really? I like Full Metal Jacket, I think, a little better because I just love Lee Ermey's performance in that movie. And the fact that he actually was a drill instructor, I think, adds something to it. But yeah, the DI is still a fantastic film in its own right. And I just saw an email flash up. Let me make sure that's not somebody that... no, that's something silly. Big Shug. Oh man, now that Mimi's here, how many Glocks does Howard have?
I really don't know. I don't inventory his safes or our safes. I don't.
My safe.
Whatever.
Mine.
You know what? If I flashed my boobs at you, you would say everything was ours. So hush.
Uh-uh.
I don't know how many Glocks he has. Or we have. KD Cowboy said, I still can't believe you haven't blocked my email address yet. If you charged by the email, I'd be broke.
No, I don't mind. those kind of emails that are coming in asking questions or what have you don't bother me at all. It's all the ones that are whatever you may have already won or whatever. The solicitations and all those are the ones that drive me crazy. I get way too many of those. And let me make sure we didn't miss anybody here in the comments. And I don't think so. It looks like we're caught up again. So any recent or any more up to the second?
SC Patriot said, my wife rocks back and forth too. Yes. I am in constant motion. There was a time when I was in law school, I didn't think I was going to be able to be an attorney because I don't sit still very well or very often. And it turns out it worked out fine. But yeah.
Yeah, if I say my wife rocks, that might not have the same meaning.
Just leave it like that. Like nobody needs to know particulars. Big Shug said, mine would say too many, but I don't honestly know. I don't know if I would ever say he has too many guns. I mean, there are a lot of bad habits that men have, and I don't consider that a bad habit. So,
yeah. Well, owning Glocks might be a bad habit. I actually do not own any Glocks.
So. Oh, that's true. You did ask about Glocks. Yeah. You don't have any.
No.
0. I wasn't paying attention.
Roy Kiefer, thank you for joining. And I agree. May God bless all of us and the United States of America as well. Thank you.
Well, I hope you guys weren't disappointed by the live stream with me here today because we were talking about something pretty weighty.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you were here.
Well, I'm always here with you, honey.
Yeah, but sometimes you're not like actually right here beside me when I'm doing the live stream.
Well, I'm often not right here beside you. Yeah.
But just to reiterate something that I said earlier in the live stream, coming up this week, I'm going to be away on Wednesday and Thursday at a training course. I think I'm going to have a Wednesday video. I might not have a next Saturday video. In fact, next Saturday's video might be a live stream with me giving you some of the information about this course. But ultimately, what I'm hoping to do is put together a video and talk about the performance of a lot of the different firearms and equipment that I'm using during the course of this 2-day intensive firearms training. So hopefully, I'll be able to give you some good reports and some good information coming back from there. Big Shug, you two have a great night. You have a great night as well. Thank you for joining, and I appreciate your comments. Jeff Tim says, Mimi, beauty, grace, wit, and charm is always welcome.
Aww. Flattery will get you many places. Not all the places. Calm down.
All right, everyone. We are pretty much right up to the 1 hour mark. I want to say thanks to everyone for joining. Again, prayers for former President Trump and the person who apparently was killed there this evening. Just a horrible tragedy. It's a dark day for our nation, and I hope we don't see any more acts of violence like this ever. But definitely not anymore during this campaign.
Yeah, and let's all watch the news and make sure we hold news accountable, because I want to know who the shooter was, and I want to know all about that person, and I'm going to reject someone saying it was a right-wing anybody.
But thanks again to everyone for all of your participation this evening. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for all the comments and for joining in on the live chat during the premiere videos on Saturdays and Wednesdays. To all of my channel members, a special thank you for the monthly contribution you make. There are times, just like today's video, the premiere video this morning was demonetized. So that monthly contribution you all make is just a tremendous help in keeping me or keeping up my ability to produce these videos that you all enjoy. So thanks again. Have a great Saturday evening and a great weekend. We'll do this again soon. And until next time, everyone, good shooting and bye-bye for now. And
good night.
Bye-bye, everyone.